your team. You want to stand apart. So if I was being tested right now, what I would do is I would either have you wear yellow, or I would put on a yellow pin so I stand apart. This is a little point to me. I think I walked in yesterday and I heard, I don't know if it's Brandon or Gio, talking about looking professional when you go out there. So whatever your favorite coaching shirt is, save that for the day that you do your practical. All right. But also you want to stand apart a bit too. All right. Don't assume that. I mean, we're all the same, pretty much the same size here. And the truth is, for those of us who coach in college, guys are our same size and bigger than us. So you want to stand apart a little bit, not just by your voice, but how you look. Okay, players with balls, do me a favor, you need a ball. Do me a favor, spread out a little bit. Just want you to sit down to start with. Okay. We're going to be doing passing and receiving. I just want to go over a little bit of the mechanics, right? Very, very brief mechanics. For you is to understand that when we are teaching this with our younger kids, we break it down even more so. But to start with, just curl your toes up. All right. I like to call it toes to nose if we were standing up. Pull your toes up, lock your ankles, try to point them towards your knees. Bend your legs like I'm doing here. This is much more comfortable for younger players. Try to touch the outsides of your feet to the ground. Take the ball in your hand, just tap the insides of your foot, your ankles locked. Okay? What we're looking for, what I'm looking for as a coach, for example, your toes are pointed down. I want them pointed up. Toes to your knees. Still not here. Okay? Look at next to you. Okay? This is a great example. His toes are trying to touch his knee. There you go. Exactly. Keep them locked like that. Okay? So looking for a locked ankle. Now just relax for a second. If I could take them, pull you and stand you up, you would be in a position similar to this. Right? So when you pass the ball, we know our plant foot is somewhere near the ball, next to the ball, pointing in the direction we want to go. We know that our body wants to be over the ball, our knee, our hips, our shoulders want to be over the ball. Toe, this is the inside of the foot pass, of course. Toes to nose, and we want to hit what part of the ball? Contact? Middle to upper part, right, for a friendly pass. If I want it on the ground, if I want it in the air, then I'm a little bit behind, then I want to get under it. So we're going to talk about basically two types of passes. One is the push pass with the inside of the foot, and we'll talk about the outside of the foot a little bit. So right now, that position that you're in, you're leaning forward, your toes are up, your legs are bent, you're comfortable, tapping, that's your sweet spot. Now, one touch, come up and meet the ball. Come up and meet the ball, just like I'm doing. What I'm looking for is that your ankles are locked, that you're not leaning back, because you don't want to lean back when you pass the ball. Good, now try to get a couple of touches. 2, 3 touches, 4 touches, whatever you can get, try to keep it up in the air. See, now coaches, now this is where you watch, now this is where the technique may start to break down, because now they're, in their mind, they're playing a little bit of a game, and they're trying to keep control of the ball, but they're going to start leaning back, they're going to start cheating, they're going to stop blocking their ankle. Okay, good, and hold. So now, got to practice knocking the ball a little bit higher in the air. So now here's a little bit of muscle, okay, that comes into play here just when you're pinging. I call it pinging your pass. You got to give it a little bit of power. See, now watch the ball. It doesn't spin much, and it's certainly not coming towards me. I'm not leaning back. I want to get to the point where I can knock it up and then stand up and catch it. Okay? And by the way, I'm going to do that once. I'm not going to do it again, so you think I can do it every time. All right? So practice a few times knocking the ball in the air, and then when you're comfortable, stand up and catch it. Not me.
Come on, Chelsea, one-handed, up in the air. There you go.
Very good technique. Very good technique.
It was a diving catch, and that's what I'm saying.
So until you want to power it, then all of a sudden...
I don't know how it's going. Thanks.
Got it.
So your ankles are locked, you guys have a nice touch. And then when you're ready, come on, Jorge, you got to go off the ground eventually. Here we go. Good job, Kyle.
Coach, you emphasize what part of the foot they hit the ball with?
Good, now stand up, please. Excuse me, Coach?
You emphasize what part of the foot you...
Okay, good question here. Do you emphasize what part of the foot you hit the ball? Yes, you do. Okay, that's why when I had them sitting down, I had them take the ball and tap the sweet spot.
Sweet spot.
For me, right now, the sweet spot is right in here. This is the inside of the foot. I don't know why we call this the instep. That's what we do, okay? So a better term is the laces for your younger players. When you strike the ball, or when you want to pass with that part, I say the laces instead of instep, so they're not confused, but this is the inside of the foot. When we were sitting there and tapping the ball, what you're doing is you're getting used to getting that feel on that spot. And so that was the emphasis. With younger players, I start out with your hands. I do the magic key. You lock your ankle, put the key away. You know, it's a whole big deal. Okay, so now I just want you to take the ball. First, watch me. You're just going to lean forward. I'm comfortable. I'm just leaning forward with the ball and toes up again. I'm just going to control the ball, maybe cut the grass, cut back and turn. And then I'm going to go with the other foot. I'm just going to release it, take the ball down, cut back and turn. Get over the ball, shield it down, step over, and then turn. Go ahead. Nice and easy. Don't just go through the motions, though. Make it a little bit sharper, Jorge. Good, good. And hold. Good. Right? Obviously, we have people who play soccer, your coaches. With the younger players especially, sometimes it's tough for them to understand that the ball has to hit the ground first for me to keep it back down there. Okay? And I just recently did a course, a local course. It was what we would call our B license, which is the regional diploma. And I have some coaches in there that have never played, which is fine. And you're in a gymnasium with a hard floor, and they're trying to take the ball in the air and bring it down. And they couldn't do it. They were trying to do that every time. And that's not realistic. Because the truth is, when the ball's in the air in the game, you want to take it down like that. So one way I help to show that with younger players is by using their hand. Just knock the ball down with your palm, knock the ball down with your palm, knock the ball down with your palm, hits the ground to palm, and then it's ground to foot, ground to foot. All right? I only mention that because the level that we're working at or that we're talking about in this course isn't that young, but if you're having difficulty with that, and you do work with younger teams, most of us do, that's one way to help them get over that. Okay? So now you've controlled it. Cut the grass, cut back and turn. Sit down. Tap the ball again until you're comfortable, until you get it up in the air. And then when you're comfortable, I want you to get up, boom, get it under control, cut back and turn. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning practicing. Ready? You're ready to get up. Get up, yes. I knew it. Good job, Kyle. Hayes away.
George, we'll just jump up, okay?
Just throw it up.
Yeah,
Don't forget to
he's
do the
looking
move.
that way, just throw it up and do it.
Catch, keeper.
Oh no.
That's okay if it takes a bounce. You have to go with a bounce, that's okay. So that's good, good, good. Okay, good, and hold. All right. So now, your players are having a little bit of difficulty with that. One bounce is okay, especially if you have field turf, or if they're playing on harder ground, the ball will bounce better than on grass. A little bit of your personality when you're coaching can come out. When my players, especially the younger kids, and I love this, if they hit the ball away, it didn't go, I'm not going to hit it straight up. It doesn't go where I want it. They do this. Get up, and they start over. That's not good enough. Because in a game, when a mistake happens, it's not, okay. All right, maybe the other team will give me the ball back. Let me do it again. That doesn't happen. So whatever happens, you mishit the ball. You miskick the ball. That's why I said to you, Jorge, he got up, brought the ball down, and he did this. It's kind of early. Let me just do this. I saw him play yesterday. I know that he can play. So I said to him, don't just do that. Don't forget to do the move. And that's up to you to stay on your players to do that. Remember Anson Durance in one of his lectures say, coaching is like parenting, and you know, you want your kids, don't put your elbows on the table. Don't put your elbows on the table. Don't put your elbows on the table. You can repeat it as much as you want, but if you give up on it, you're not going to teach them a lesson. They're not going to learn that this is what I'm supposed to do. Coaching is the same way. We get tired of it. I'm tired of talking to your team about it. I'm tired of telling him. He's just not going to listen to me. Well, that's not fair to him, and it's not fair to me, it's not fair to your team. Okay? So maybe I have to take a different approach. The reason I mention that is because we've got to deal with adversity with our players. So when something goes wrong, like you joking around, you said, not me, I'm not ready yet. Or one went over your head, you got up and you did it and you did the move. As a coach, I go over and I say to him, hey, good for you. I like that. You're going to get it. You keep working on it, but I like that you didn't give up on it. Okay. Coaches, please come on over here. Jog over here.
Thank you.
Down ball.